This show is called Strangers When We Meet. It's a project of Studio of New Aesthetic at the Department of Photography at FAMU. The exhibition came right at the beginning of the semester, so it became sort of initial assignment for the discussion. We've decided to create quite a strict environment with one projection and one TV and space to exhibit physical pieces.
I mean, the studio often uses or utilizes the medium of an exhibition as a discursive format, as a methodological tool of education, but education which is not one-directional, education which goes both ways. We don't like to use terms like non-hierarchy within the studio because we feel that this idea of non-hierarchical art education was maybe a bit naive. We kind of believe that there is a possibility to translate and transpose and transfer power within a group of people, that there is a possibility to ping-pong the roles, to somehow exchange and collaborate. Sometimes the students could run the whole thing, sometimes it is about bringing impulses, as Inek just mentioned, about this relatively strict framework of this blue box, which is obviously a play on dialogue between black box and white cube. No matter how old this discussion is, we still feel that there is a possibility to channel new ideas through it.
It's less about like crafting some sort of like single narrative, I guess, for the entire exhibition, and more about exploring the different ways in which one specific narrative can be broken up into different interpretations. And I think that's part of the point, right? It's like everybody kind of had a different take on this sort of like a subject, strangers when we meet, and so we all kind of came up with our stuff.
I'm observing how the piece is changing depending on the space where it's exhibiting. So for me, like this experience that I brought it just like small part of the whole project. I brought just like 2 prints, which are like handmade enlargements. For me, it's like a dialogue with the other stuff here. I'm still thinking if for me it makes sense to exhibit just a small part of the project or like without the context.
Context of like the whole exhibition, I think maybe it's important to mention was like strangers when we meet, that there's this dialogue between projects and people who don't actually necessarily know each other that well. Like it's a new semester, we're a bunch of new students, and then during the installation we were sort of figuring out how to make the space maybe a bit more, say, lively or interactive in a way, like that there would be something you could walk around as well while the videos were playing, and I guess the lightbox is part of that. For me, it feels a bit more like a detail, that you go in and you have this monumental video, this monumental like installation, you're like very confronted by it, but at the same time there's these elements where you can go in and like you have to look quite closely on these to actually see what it is.
Vítku, hlavu.
Kde?
Za ucho.
Která půlka mají války?
No,